Hello and welcome to the US Grand Prix. Sorry for the late start to this stream. It is going to be a 20 lap race here and everyone's going to set a lap before the race starts. Everyone will line up at the end of the pit lane. Yeah, you have 2 minutes to lap, says the FIA. So it will be So here come everyone's left with 2 drivers at the moment, so it will be Leon that will have to set at that time. Just not get cut, and the race will start in about 3 or 4 minutes. Almost to the end of the middle sector of the lap. Will come, it's Leon. Oh, that's going to be wide. So the race will start now. So, the USA will have a formation lap, 19 laps ahead of us. So, there will be a formation lap of 2, and then there will be 19 laps plus a safety car. So, 20 laps, but this will be a formation lap. As everyone goes off the grid, and we are off for the formation lap. Pole position yesterday went to Spectre. We'll go through all the tyre compounds now. I think mediums mostly for everyone. Jim. And yeah, Jim's the only person not on the mediums. Everyone else, and yeah, Jim on the soft compound tyres, and everyone else on the mediums to start this race. 9 drivers are starting this US Grand Prix. Everyone will go around the lap just to get there. Yeah, everyone who didn't qualify will have to start in the pits, and Toto is out of the US Grand Prix. Here comes now around the final few corners of the middle sector. We are about to finish the formation lap in about 20 second time. Second sector line now. Or as soon as possible, I think, round this corner. Yeah, round this corner. So, last few corners of this race. Jaden has a corner car. There's a flip! Live Harris flipped, but got back on his wheels. Jim will run on board with in the Haas on the soft compound tyres. So we ride on board with our pole sitter as we go to the grid for the US Grand Prix. So, the grid forms. The lights will come on. It will be light start, not a red yellow, green start for this US Grand Prix. So onto the grid comes the Mercedes. Lena, the championship leader, only 5th on the grid from Alpine. As all the drivers on the grid, we're all set for a brilliant race here. Everyone's been told to do something, as everyone's been told to line up onto the grid. It is it's the US Grand Prix. The season BIFR. It is the US Grand Prix. We have 19 laps to run here in Texas. 3. All 5 lights are on. And we go green in the USA. It looks like there's a few jump starts there. One of them might have been Spectre with a jump start. Lena also gets away well up into 2nd place. I believe there was a jump start from a Red Bull. Pit go. But that was definitely a jump start. So we'll see if any developments comes out of that. But into turn 1. Lena down the inside. Spectre gets a good exit and can't take the lead. Lena actually does take the lead. The Alpine driver, the championship leader, takes the lead in the US Grand Prix. The 2 Red Bulls battling for 3rd and 4th. Of it's Makov and H4M4. Jim also battling with Jaden. It looks like Leon both Aston Martin still from the pit lane. After not qualifying yesterday, with Spec took pole and Lena. There was a big gap. The Spec going wide there. It looks like one of the Red Bulls has pulled away. I believe that's it. Makov has pulled away from H4M4. We'll see what one has pulled away as. Yeah, sorry, it's HM4M4 pulling away. And it's Makov falling down the pack. The Spec going wide again. And into the barriers. Spec out of the race. Yellow flags deployed. Spec out of this race. Virtual safety car deployed. Spec in the barriers on lap 1 of this race. 4th gear. Will anyone use this virtual safety car to come into the pit lane? Spec from pole position out of the US Grand Prix. I saw him going wide. He went all the way into the tyre barriers and lost 2 of his tyres. Lena doesn't come in. We'll see if anyone comes in the background. We're on with Lena. Doesn't look like anyone comes in. Jim is a long way back in the Haas. Yeah, he didn't come in either. And both Aston Martins don't come in yet. Jim now holding up these 2 Astons. Jim's been told to use manual gears, as I believe they're using that. And VSC is in. At the end of this lap. So VSC is still in. It is still out. At the end of this lap, the VSC will come into the pit lane. We're on lap 4. That's Lena sliding almost into the barriers. The Alpine. That is going to be very crucial. Here comes Lena on board or off board with the Alpine. So virtual safety car will be in at the end of lap 3 of the race. As we go green again here in the USA. Good restart for most of the pack, including Lena Lena gets a really good restart. H4M4 caught napping, it looks like, as they're not even into the final corner now. On to lap 4 of the US Grand Prix. Lena has a big lead after Spec crashed and caused a virtual safety car at the start of this race. Here comes around the banking. We'll ride with one of the battles in the pack. And here comes Elena Purple last sector. That's wide for Jaden. He's got ahead of H4M4. So does H4M4, but both goes wide. So round the middle sector. Purple first sector for Jaden, surprisingly. In second place on the medium compact tyres. There goes H4M4. Back into second place. Is Leon has set a purple first sector on this lap. Perez has got into 5th place. And now fighting with its Makov for 4th place. But we're looking at the battle for the second podium place. Jaden looks like he's got it back off the Red Bull. Yes, Jaden has done it. In the 25 Williams. Sliding there is H4M4 out of the middle part of the lap. The bumps were a big talking point about qualifying yesterday when a lot of drivers hit them and were struggling on them. Lena doesn't even set it sets a yellow middle sector, but still over a second gain. There goes H4M4. Can he get it? Yes. It looks like H4M4 can. Perez has got into 4th place. While we're looking at this battle from the pit lane, the Aston Martin up into 4th place and maybe challenging for the podium later in this race. H4M4 back past. Jaden gets back past. It looks like the Williams has better straight line speed than that Red Bull. Into the first corner. There goes H4M4. Both drivers on the medium tyres. But H4M4 in. Is he into? It looks like it is. No. Let's switch to the outside. Jaden stays ahead somehow. H4M4 really struggling to get past. There's Perez in the background of this battle. These two having a battle for 7th between 6th is Leon and Jim. Right on board with Jada. It looks like H4M4 has got a good gap now ahead of the Williams. Or does he? As there goes Jaden. H4M4 went really wide and compromising through this long right. Flat out through there, but there's no straight line speed or no. H4M4 using the DRS or the ERS, sorry. Bumps all around, but can Jaden get it back on the outside line? No. Switches to the inside. No, doesn't look like it. Looking to the outside, H4M4 goes wide. And back into 2nd place. No, not now. No. H4M4 into the barriers. And he'll be at the mercy of Zy Perez. Perez up into 3rd place for the Aston Martin team and maybe into 2nd place. This Aston Martin is a lot of pace and in to 2nd place on lap 6. Yeah, Zy Perez gaining 2.5 seconds a lap, but looks like Jaden's got it back on the switch back into turn 1. Can Jaden get it? No, not on this occasion. So, still battling for second place. Looks like Jaden's got down the inside. Zy Perez goes wide but gets a better exit as went a long way around and got the throttle very early and got better speed. Jaden gets back ahead though. These two gaining on Lennon on lap 6 of this US Grand Prix. Zy Perez does have the fastest lap of the race so far. Here comes into the final chicane. Jaden goes down the inside wide. Won't get the move done though. H4M4 now in the it's catching. It's not catching. It's getting catched by Leon in the Aston Martin. So it doesn't look very good for H4M4 after his incident earlier in this race on a few laps ago. It's Leon's at the purple last sector as well. 2.5 seconds there, the gap. It looks like the outside lines are a lot better in turn 1 because the overtakes have been all on the outside, or the defences have all worked on the outside. It's Leon's hit the purple first sector. And now he's got ahead. H4M4 struggling on his tyres. And up into... or not. Can he get it? It's Leon hits a bump and now loses his position. But H4M4 really struggling. Talking about struggling. That's the second time he's done that in a matter of corners. Is Leon. So now he's a long way behind the Red Bull. But the Red Bull of H4M4 goes wide. So, can the Aston Martin take advantage? Doesn't look like it. For that Aston, it's on edge. But when you get it right, it looks very, very effective. So, Perez has already pulled out a 1.2 seconds gap on Jaden. Wide off the track goes Leon. H4M4 retakes the place. But this Leon takes his penalty and is now almost 5 seconds behind. Actually about 2.3 now. 2.6, sorry. So into turn 1. Actually, James gained a bit on Zy Perez. Zy Perez maybe pushed a lot with his tyres. Maybe a bit too much. As now, here comes the Williams. Can he get ahead of Zy Perez? Through the middle part of the lap, we're on, just going on to lap 10 of the race. Down the inside goes Jaden. Up into second place is the Williams driver. And a pretty easy pass. Or not, as Zy Perez comes back and gets back into second place. These two battling, losing time compared to Lennon. About a few tenths on that lap. On this lap. Here round the middle part of the lap. And sorry, not the middle, last part, final part. Very wide for Jaden there. What can Zy Perez do in the final sector? How much will he gain? Big? About 2 seconds. He did get a corner cut though, so Leonard, I don't think, has got a corner cut this whole race. We haven't really talked about Leonard since he started pulling away. We're now with him as there's Zy Perez. In the background, 4.6 seconds the gap before the first pit stops in about a few laps' time. Jim has now somehow kept holding on to his as Jaden up into second place. Makov is the first into the pit lane from his medium tyres on lap 8 and on to lap 9. What tyre will the Red Bull go to? Another set of medium tyres, and we'll probably go to the end on them. And that set. Jim setting personal best sectors wide as we go with him. Let's look at the battle between this Leon. And actually, H4M4 is now behind. Is Leon. Here we go on board with H4M4. Can H4M4 take advantage where that Aston Martin struggles? Yes, it doesn't look like it. That's very wide for H4M4. The understeer in that Red Bull looks immense. And the oversteer in that Aston looks immense as well. So these two drivers having different driving styles. As you can see, that's understeer almost into the barrier though. Very close to it for the Red Bull driver. We'll keep an eye on his Makov's times in the middle sector when gets to it. There's two in the pit lane. Zai Perez and Jaden both in. What tyres? Both from the mediums. Well, what did Zai Perez? Zai Perez goes to a set of mediums. It's Leon now into second place. They both set a purple sector. Zai Perez onto the mediums. Jaden onto the hards. Surprising strategy from the Williams team, and the gap is very big now. Jim also in for the soft compound tyres. He's done really well to keep his softs in there for about 10 laps. So could go to another set of softs, or probably to the mediums is the best strategy. No to a set of softs. That's try to get it to the end on a set of softs, which could be a hard task. Lena will surely come in the next lap or so. Leon has also set the fastest lap of the race, and H4M4 is now 2 seconds back at the end of the first sector. And he's going to be really close. Does Zai Perez need to pump in those lap times? So does Jaden. Will there be a change in position for the lead of the race? Lena will ride off board with the Alpine driver as he goes round the middle part of the lap and to the final few corners. So, purple middle sector for Zai Perez. Lena's in to the pit lane for Alpine. Straight onto a new set of tyres. To the mediums for a second stint. With Zai Perez. This is going to be a very tight one. Is Leon inherits the lead of the race? H4M4's out. Something's happened to the Red Bull driver. I believe they had a disconnect. Zai Perez. There's Lena coming out of the pit lane. Lena retains his lead after the pit stops. But is Leon still in the lead because he's the only one not to pit. But Jaden is gained so much. But the understeer on them hards, we can see they're wide, losing all bits of grip, trying to get ahead. Zai Perez has had a problem as well. Because he's a long way back from the Williams. And just joining us, we're on lap 11 of this race. We should be done by 2 o'clock if there's no safety cars. H4M4 had a problem. We don't know what is the problem. Jaden falling back, and Lena might have this under control. We'll see if Zai Perez can gain enough during this race, or will he get stuck behind Jaden. Jaden is on the hard compound tyres, remember. On 3 tyres being used at the moment. Jim's on the softs. Hards for Jaden and everyone else on the mediums. Only getting about 2 tenths of yellow flag. And it's Leon! Safety car is deployed. The first safety car we've had in a long time on Civic-TV. The safety car deployed. Leon in the barriers. Hitting the barriers and out of the Grand Prix. Leno will retake the lead. Jaden's behind. So the safety car will come out any time now. Reduce your pace, everyone's been told. It was on the banking. I believe it might have hit a bump. That could be the reason that crash has happened. So here comes H4M4. Oh, sorry, not H4M4. Here comes Jaden. We're on board. So the safety car deployed. We said we shouldn't finish without a safety car, but we have got a full safety car deployed here in the USA. This is the safety car, the BMW i8 safety car used for BIFR. If you want to have updates on the ICRL, because that is on at the moment. Right now, Mitch leads ahead of Fenris, but there is still differences because of the mad stuff that's been happening so far in this Grand Prix, or the Grand Prix, and both of these have had chaos. Max Young down third. Epic Saver didn't even start the race. So the BMW i8 safety car. Perez could win this because close, and no, Jim should be catching up to the safety car soon. And then it's Makov. There's 5 runners left in this US Grand Prix. 5 runners left. There's supposed to be 9 runners. 1 left before the end of the first lap. 1 retired on the first lap, which was Spec, second place at the time. H4M4 disconnected, we believe, and it's Leon. Crashed a few laps ago, which caused this safety car. Is Makov will be, I believe, allowed to unlap? No, he's on the same lap, so should come in this lap, I should say. Safety car will stay out on another lap. So there'll be 1 more lap under the safety car, as all the drivers are now bunched behind the BMW i8 safety car. So the safety car will stay up for another lap. We are through turn 1, so there's going to be a short safety car. 7 laps to go here in the US 8. So, safety car will be in at the end of the lap, I believe. On board with the Alpine of Leonard. Safety car will be in this lap. We'll go back racing here in the USA. We've had 2 races in the USA in 2 weeks. Last time out was in New York City. Today we're in the long tri-state international circuit. But there will be, the leader's been told to control the pace. We've got a few more corners to go till we go back racing. Here we go, almost to the last sector now. get in touch on Twitter. Hashtag BIFR US Grand Prix. If you want to get in touch about this race or have a discussion about it. After this, we'll have the WDRL race in Qatar, and then we'll also have the IRFL in Malaysia. So 2 races, and then we have a break because of the Formula 1 action as we go back racing. Let a weed across the track, and we go green back in the USA. Green flag running. As Lena has a sensational jump on the Williams and Jaden, and already into turn 1, a long gap for the Alpine to save his ERS most likely, while Jaden uses to get ahead. But Lena has had a brilliant safety car restart. We've got 6 laps to go here. 0.8 of a second the gap at the end of the first sector. Zai Perez is trying to get ahead of the hard running Jaden. Jim as well in this, fighting with its Makov in the Red Bull. His teammate H4M4 out of the race after having a disconnect, we believe. As now here comes Zai Perez. We're on board with the Aston Martin lifted. Lifted off. That has lost so much ground. Jaden, let her under pressure. Let her is struggling. Here comes Jaden. Jaden goes wide. That gives Lena a bit of... Oh no! Into the barriers. We saw it happen earlier. As well, Zai Perez is now down in third place, in behind the Red Bull. Lena's now going to have a big lead ahead of Jaden, because the two front runners that are fighting for the win have both had some kind of issue. There's a 3-car battle for third place behind. Jaden is slowed down. Jaden is now down in 5th place, fighting for the lead down to last of the running cars. Zai Perez is into 2nd place, but the gap is almost 5.5 seconds. As now round turn 1, wide there is the Haas. Lena has got a huge lead now. Jim has got ahead. Zai Perez is at a purple first sector though. The chase is on for Zai Perez. Can he steal the win from Lena? Lena has led since the start of this US Grand Prix. So, what can Zai Perez say about it? We're on lap 15 and 20. Still in the mix is both of the top two. Zai Perez needs to have a brilliant middle sector. Oh no, that's going to be a second or so lost. Lena says a brilliant middle sector, a purple middle sector, and gained over a second in the middle sector. That could be it for Zai Perez. As we go on to lap 16, we can see Lena in the distance. Yeah, H4M4 is came back into server. I believe he just disconnect. Stopping. All out is just a bit of lag. It looked like there was an issue for Jaden there. As that is Jim slowing. The Haas slow. And all of this chaos, and we still haven't mentioned the fuel situation. Will the drivers have enough fuel to finish this race? So, we're on board with Zai Perez. Jaden comes into the pit lane, maybe for a fastest lap attempt. Onto the soft compound tyres, I believe he'll go on to. On board, into the box. Starts on his marks. Soft compound tyres. Fastest lap attempt. No doubt about it. Leonard's slowing. The race leader slowing down. I believe with a corner cut penalty. Now Zai Perez is right behind Leonard. A crucial moment in this race. What can Leonard do to defend from the charging Aston Martin? It was definitely a corner cut penalty. Wide for Zai Perez there. Now, Leonard's now almost pulled a 2-second gap maybe. Because Zai Perez is making mistakes. It's still all to play for in this last lap, or these last few laps of this race. Leonard now in the lead. Jaden on going for a fast lap. Both drivers set a purple last sector. Here comes Zai Perez for the lead. Yes, Leonard finally under pressure. And Zai Perez leads the US Grand Prix. Into the first corner, Leonard can't fight back. The Aston Martin from the pit lane leads in Texas. Jaden set a purple middle sector. What is happening? Zai Perez goes wide. Leonard go back at the Aston Martin. This is going to go right down to the wire. Retaking the lead. Leonard retakes the lead. Or does he? They're going wheel to wheel still. The Belgian driver battling for the lead. It looks like ahead. He will be ahead. Yes, Jaden's going for the fastest lap now. Definitely, no doubt about it. He's on his fastest lap attempt now. 53 seconds back. Leonard now retakes the lead. Zai Perez goes wide. We're right on board with the Aston Martin. Through the final sector. Up to the flat out chicane. They keep it clean. So, they go wheel to wheel again. Zai Perez coming back at the Alpine. So, Zai Perez can... Will it be enough? So, Zai Perez, 2 laps to go of this US Grand Prix. WDRL is on the other side, but we're focusing on this battle for the lead of the US Grand Prix in BIFR. The safety car window is closed as well, so there can't be any safety cars to ruin this action. But has Leonard got enough to win the US Grand Prix? Jaden took the fastest lap on the last lap as well. So, on to the penultimate lap of the race. Leonard has a corner cut. But Zai Perez has a straight line speed. Zai Perez, with the battery, regains the lead of the Grand Prix. wide there though in turn 1 on the penultimate lap. So, who will be victorious here in the USA? Still over a lap to go. Here we go. Perez has had an issue as well. Corner cut. Penalty. I believe. Maybe. Or they've had a crash that I've missed. So. Lena has a 3-second lead. Over Perez. Lena on to the last lap. This is it. Lena. On to the last lap through turn 1. They've got half a lap. 3/4 of a lap. To decide this race. Perez gained 5 attempts in that last sector, but it won't matter. Will it matter though as Lena goes round? There's only a few corners left. Perez is now 4 seconds back. Been a dominant performance. But both drivers have had a brilliant fight. 3 more corners to go. Hitting the barrier. Almost losing it. The race win on the final sector of the race. But the performance consistently for the whole race. Spectre retired on the first lap. He took advantage of it. Lena roused the final corner to win the US Grand Prix. A brilliant race. Sensational stuff. Perez will come home to take the runners-up spot or not. Perez is out. Jim will take 2nd place. Perez has had a problem. Jim rounds the final corner. Jim will take the 2nd place in his home race. Sensational stuff. The final podium spot is not decided as Jaden's run out of fuel. But I don't think it's Makoff will be close enough, Jim. Jaden runs out of fuel. But it's Makoff will come home soon for 4th place. Lena victorious in the USA. Thank you for joining us for this broadcast. We'll see you in about a week's time. Or not in BIFR, but we'll see you in about a minute for the WDRL race in Qatar. See you then.